The internet has had an ongoing joke for a while now about Drake being the father of Sexy Red's most recent baby. However, Drake has people thinking the joke may be for real after a video went viral of him laid up with Sexy Red, kissing her on her pregnant belly.
If Sexy Red doesn't settle down for the sake of her newborn daughter, a terrible future awaits the baby. Today, we will delve into whether the girl regrets raising her first son without a father. Who will be the new ideal daddy for Sexy Red's children? Discover which of the potential fathers of Red's daughter will spare her $10 and who will splurge $1 million. What mistake is her mother afraid of repeating when raising 2 children? Without addressing this, all her money and success will not help lift the kids out of poverty. But what kind of poverty? The father of Red's newborn daughter, China, is none other than Drake himself. On Valentine's Day, the rapper released a video for their joint on Rich Baby Daddy where that girl gave birth to him. Many interpreted this as confirmation of the paternity of the Canadian millionaire. But hold on, don't jump to conclusions just yet. Watch until the end and we'll explore whether Red is using Drake only for his money. Is it wrong if she puts Drake on child support, or is the rapper stepping up to Drizzy so her children can finally have a normal family? Otherwise, her daughter might end up giving birth out of wedlock, and her son might find himself behind bars, especially with such a father. In June 2023, Brick Baby, the main contender for the role of her daughter's father, shared his perspective on child support with real-life street stars.
It's always too much when you putting it in her hands. Shit, $10.
The rapper currently has 2 girls, Zoe and 1-year-old Kai, whom daddy needs to give a well-rounded schooling. Be that as it may, his collection was dropped, and there are less ways of bringing in cash to help his kids. He needn't bother with another youngster, and he won't construct a committed relationship with Sexy. The young lady needs now this. All things considered, she can adapt to 2 youngsters. Her mother minds and assists with child China. However, Red is as of now emulating her mother's example and committing her greatest error by picking work over nurturing. Due to her generally bustling mother, Red engaged with her beau early, helped him in unlawful issues, and conceived an offspring outside of a stable family structure. Her girl gambles with rehashing the destiny of the rapper. In 2024, Sexy wanted to begin a lifelong on television and send off a line of beauty care products, dress, and hair pieces for the purpose of the kids' joy. She simply needs to get her child out of the hood so he doesn't need to experience childhood in that frame of mind of climate she did. However, will Drake, a worldwide whiz presently on visit, be that sort of father? Indeed, he shared in a meeting with Lil Wayne on Youthful Cash Radio on Apple Music that even with his bustling timetable, he actually carves out opportunity to enjoy with and bring up his child. That is the sort of man Red is absent. Besides, of late, he frequently winds up close to a young lady. On February 12th, 2024, he performed at the Undertaking community in her local St. Louis, where Sexy was rumored to have brought forth her girl. What's weird is that the rapper dropped every single resulting show. Truth be told, spring shows in Birmingham, Memphis, and Denver were dropped for no great explanation. Does this imply that he needs to invest energy with his infant little girl? Conceivably, all things considered, Red made it clear she would do anything for her youngsters. That implies she wants a liberal and mindful man.
He's so spoiled. He loves new shit.
Every time you come home, you bring him some new shit. Like, I've been gone 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Child China will have a similar number of presents, although it isn't yet known what mother and father gave the girl on her birthday. Her special name was mentioned by Red at a Chinatown-themed baby shower with a custom cake that read Princess China. Before the birth of her daughter, Red showcased her mansion in Miami on Instagram. Almost everything in the house is pink, especially the girl's stylish room. It's interesting that her son lives in it, not his room. The child's room is decorated in a wonder style because the kid is obsessed with Bugman. So much so that his mother got him a diamond pendant with this character on it. In January 2023, the rapper spent between $100,000 and $250,000 on jewelry for themselves, their mom, and their child at Icebox Diamonds and Watches. In addition to the pendant and chain, Chucky got another pair of diamond earrings in the summer of 2023. His mom got him another pair from Jewelry Unlimited. As we see, the child grows up in luxury and is spoiled, therefore Sexy needs a man to show her child how to behave? It's like he's been here before, huh? Yeah, he has. He has several children who are like that, man. Yeah, my mother is like this, young man. I think he's 22. The kid is growing up so fast that on November 4th, 2023, his mom had to apologize to the teacher because Chucky made a cigarette out of dough that looked like, you know what? He's probably growing up like his father, who is spending time in jail. Yet, Adonis, Drake's child, speaks French, creates images and songs, and plays basketball. That's despite the fact that the kid doesn't live with his father under the same roof. Red clearly wouldn't mind setting a good example for her child. Besides, Drizzy doesn't spoil the kid as much as Sexy. He likes to throw parties for his child. For his 4th birthday, he threw him a Lego party where Bugs Bunny came to celebrate Adonis. The kid accompanies his father to basketball games, but he doesn't have jewel chains and earrings worth hundreds of thousands. Drizzy, by the way, wears pendants with his son's name and photo, and Alex Greenery made him a $777,000 chain with his son's birth date. Yet the rapper wears gems himself and doesn't give it to a small kid dissimilar to Red. Her total assets is $400,000, and she carelessly spends it on extravagance while Mogul Drake saves money on gifts. We're not saying he's a modest skate, we're saying he knows how to oversee cash. All things considered, assuming Sexy proceeds with this cycle, she will not have anything to hand down to her youngsters, which is as of now not a genuine model for them. Even her mom surrendered. She resembles young lady, I definitely know you, a cultivator. I realize you ratchet, so she ain't care. Guardians of rappers. Youthful fans are worried about what the young lady's craftsmanship means. For youngsters, 5-year-old young ladies twerk to her melodies and sing about how they need a rich child daddy. It's nothing unexpected. Red's effect on her own kids will be much more terrible, and keeping in mind that her ex Chucky Sr. was close by, all was great.
Here before, huh?
Yeah, he do. He grown.
Some children are like that.
Yeah,
man.
my mom be like, this little boy think he 20.
The child who denies paternity and is preoccupied with his own family clearly will not be as supportive of Red's semi-secret rapper charm. There's practically no information about him, and we don't know what kind of father he would be. However, we have proactively mentioned that Drake could take on such responsibilities. After all, he not only took Red on tour and recently shot a video with her for Rich Baby Daddy, but he could also be there during labor. In addition, he covered all the hospital expenses of his ex, Sophie, when she gave birth to Adonis in 2017. To see his child more often, Drizzy likes to send him a private jet. I want to be able to go places with my child and share memories with my child. And Drake isn't the only one who wants to spend more time with his kids. Red herself will have almost flaked out after the birth of her daughter, the earliest being on March 15th at Rolling Loud, California. Considering the girl performed 7 months pregnant back in November 2023, this hiatus speaks volumes. When she gave birth to Chucky in 2020, she stayed at home with him at the request of the child's father. But when the child was 6 months old, they separated, and Red dove headfirst into work. What made Sexy decide to pause her career now? Drake would do, or someone else? Share your perspective in the comments and wait for new details. Sexy Red at last admitted who was the dad of her subsequent kid, and will explain to you why she hid him for such a long time. Think about which job Cash played in this romantic tale, and most strangely, what did the young lady interest from her favorite one to wed him? It's extremely difficult for him to do music, after all. It is exceptionally difficult to vanquish a young lady like Sexy Red. She has an entire series of tests her new man should pass before she remembers him as a worthy accomplice. On January 21st, 2024, she tossed a child shower where the man whom everybody considers the dad of her subsequent child take cover behind her. We keep thinking about whether he doesn't show up in light of the fact that he hasn't breezed through the assessment yet, or is he a sham and Red's genuine child daddy is somewhere else?
Was rapping? Was he supportive?
Yeah,
He was?
he was very supportive. He used to give my son whenever I had a show, whatever I had to do.
Now let's figure out where her new ganga lover is. Now behind bars, on tour, or with another woman. After all, the girl constantly contradicts herself in interviews, denying relationships with both fellow rappers and her 2 boyfriends. You are currently serving time. Watch to the end and find out if it's true that the reason for this is that none of them have yet to prove they are family material. Red handpicks her men herself and is not afraid to make the first move. She rapped, I'm looking for a new daddy for my son for a reason. Such a cool and strong girl needs a guy like her, and who better suited than her exes, who are now behind bars. Real men who were not afraid to enter the world of crime to achieve success in life. This is what her first love was, the father of her son, whom she named after his daddy, Chucky. That's my high school sweetheart. Free him. That's my dog. I hate being on this journey without him. I have my mama, but I don't have him. Red is so looking forward to his return and even made a video for the song Free My Man, where she organizes the prison break for her loved one. But oddly enough, the father of Sexy's second child may not be Chucky Sr., but his friend. Yes, Red's second boyfriend, whom she met through the father of her firstborn, is in the same facility, and it is quite possible she really wants to free him. Almost nothing is known about him, but he meets the first criterion of a girl to be a real gangster. But why then does Red have a song called F My Baby Dad where she denies any connection with this man? The rapper even added, if my baby daddy is in jail and I always say, free my baby daddy, but now I'm saying if my baby daddy do. Y'all really think I'm pregnant by a dude in jail? Like, how do y'all think that works? Makes sense. One of the child's fathers has already been taken away from her, and it's irrational to have a second baby from someone who won't be there. So, the father is one of her fellow rappers then.
Are you single or are you in a relationship
I'm single.
now?
Mhm. I'm single, but I got
You got situationships.
Mhm.
Okay,
I got
a little boo.
Here, Red denies having affairs, and the guys also openly said that they couldn't have anything romantic with her. So where do the rumors about affairs come from? Let's figure it out. Most rumors were about Sexy's relationships with Brick Baby, Drake, Chief Keef, and Ellie Cho. Sure, they are cool, but are they cool enough for Red? Many are not. Drake had almost no problems with the law. He grew up in the family of a teacher and starred in a popular TV series from the age of 15. He saw his father being detained by the police, so the boy never got into trouble himself. Ellie Choa spent only a short time in a juvenile detention center, and in 2021, he and his friends got into just one fight in Santa Monica. Brick Baby served 8 months for selling substances, but quickly switched to music. I'm the son of a brick lady. All my game came from my mom, so I just dedicated it to her. Chief Keef faced many charges. He was banned from performing in Chicago, put under house arrest, and authorities charged him for weapons possession. As you can see, all these guys had minor troubles, and it is almost impossible to call them real gangsters. They're too weak for Red. That's why the coolest here is Bowie. The stuff I rap about is what I've seen, you know? That's basically why I rap more about the struggle than the shine and all that, because I've seen more struggle than anything. The guy spent 9 years behind bars for distributing substances. It's not in vain Bowie was associated with being the dad of Red's second kid. Her September 27th, 2023 post shows a young lady in the arms of an outsider with a tracker on his leg. Bowie got similar one a couple of months prior. However, the rapper immediately denied the reports. She was never my sort brother. She seems to be my sister. She resembles the young ladies who grew up with me in the undertakings. They have never turned me on much, yet it doesn't sound extremely persuading. Taking into account that numerous rappers express comparative things in open, however, at that point they DM Sexy in confidential. The subsequent conceivable Red's child daddy is Block Child. He seems to be indistinguishable from a man from her child. Shower Block stifled the buddy had similar dreadlocks. Yet that is where the similitudes end. And he called Drake a dad of her second youngster, not himself. Sure, Drizzy isn't Ganga. Yet he has $250 million. It's a larger number of than all Red's potential child daddies joined. And in the late spring, he gave Red a precious stone watch. However, you can't dazzle a young lady with cash she esteems not costly gifts, but rather what sort of individual is before her. It is very conceivable the dad of her subsequent kid is a basic person from the hood who carries on with a perilous life and brings in next to zero cash, yet he is free and prepared to be there to bring up Red's kids. For instance, a less fruitful rapper fits such depiction. Back in September 2023, rapper Charm from Atlanta said he was with Red in the photograph and he closely resembles a man from Sexy Child Shower. They say the rapper's hit Shock Your Fears is additionally committed to him. It appears we have tracked down our daddy. However, stand by, there is another test faithfulness up until this point, none of the competitors for Red's heart have passed it mirage that ain't genuine. Like, you can sign, you can have an entire function, yet get undermined. The young lady doesn't put stock in marriage since she fears increasingly cheating. Furthermore, those rumored to be her new child daddy are bad at being dependable. Blockchild as of late became the dad of a 1-year-old girl and is bringing up his second girl from his most memorable relationship, Anelli. Slash is the dad of 2 children from 2 distinct ladies and was involved with Marissa Danny at the hour of Sexy's pregnancy. Boss Keefe became a dad at 16. And after 2 additional ladies took DNA tests to demonstrate his paternity as indicated by bits of gossip, there is a 4th kid who has not yet been perceived by Keith Bowie. Really has 8 youngsters from 6 ladies. He declared that marriage was not his thing, and he was continuously going to explore every available opportunity. Red won't endure this, since she went through comparable things with Chucky Sr. The one in particular who appears to be semi-steadfast is Drake. He just had 1 kid and was renowned for cherishing one lady. He had eyes for Rihanna for a very long time and hung tight for her. Yes, there were reports about him cheating, yet many were phony. What might be said about our Wudu. There is basically no data about him, and we don't have the foggiest idea the number of kids he that has all things considered. Red's child will be his most memorable kid. Which of these 2 do you believe is the genuine child? Daddy, share your contemplations in the remarks and hang tight for reports on the paternity fight. After all, Drake needed to have 3 DNA tests in several years prior to he perceived his most memorable child.